We're moving to Monday for baseball season. Starting February 1st, we become Thursday night with 912 Sports on Monday. Now back to tonight's show right after these messages.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
Now back to what will soon be known as Thursday Night with 912 Sports on Monday.
Welcome back, sports fans. I'm Sean Smoke, publisher of 912 Sports. I appreciate everybody watching Thursday Nights with 912 Sports. I want to take this opportunity to thank some sponsors of our show. I want to thank Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty, Gibson Animal Clinic, Coastal Pines Technical College, Prime South Bank, and Robbie Robertson Ford of Waycross. And without those guys, we wouldn't be able to do this show here every Thursday night. Don't forget, we're switching to Mondays on February the 1st, but more information on that coming soon. But joining us now is the head wrestling coach for the Wayne County Yellow Jackets, Coach Nick Hayes. Coach, how you doing today, buddy?
Morning, Sean. How are you?
Hey, man, great. Appreciate you taking the time to come on the show with us here and talk a little wrestling. And, Coach, we were talking before we came on air, and I was under the impression this was the first year of the Wayne County program, but this is actually the third year, but your first year as head coach. So give us a little bit of history of how this program got started over there for you guys.
Yeah, so obviously Wayne County has not had a wrestling program before 3 years ago. I think one of Coach Cribb's football coaches, Coach David Poinsett, and another assistant, Tim Pratt, got the idea to start the program, and they've been going. They were varsity only for a year, and then picked up middle school. Last year was the first year that middle school had a program. The conference allowed us to combine both middle schools to try to get that rolling, and this will be the second year of middle school and actually the third year of the varsity program. So our most veteran wrestler, we have three, I think, that have been 3-year guys. So certainly playing a little catch up as far as mat time and experience, but very, very excited about the direction of the program. Those guys did a great job of laying a foundation and getting kids out. And that's what my staff and I have tried to do, is just, carry over with a little bit of a different spin on things, and just a different voice in the room. That sometimes can be a good thing and a bad thing, but I think our kids have bought in, and obviously we're still behind, you feel like, because of COVID and just some of the mat time issues, and we were shut down for 3.5 weeks. But as far as age of the program, Sean, you could say 2.5 years, 3 years at the end of this year, and it shows at times, and at times it's a great thing, because you kind of, I've enjoyed getting to put a stamp on it, and these kids are working really, really hard. Got some really good athletes and big numbers, middle school and high school, that we're excited about.
Right. And Coach, the importance of middle school. You turned this program here at Ware Middle, around and grew it into the juggernaut that it is. I mean, year after year after year, you guys won, and now that since you've left the program, they've continued on that, that winning tradition. So how important it is getting those guys in middle school to buy in, to get ready to go to that varsity level. So I know it was huge for you guys to get that up and running over there last year.
Sure, and we got a community guy, Coach Ron Twilley, that does a great job for us, along with Coach Tommy Weatherspoon, and Coach Lott helps out as well. And we're all in one building. We're all one program. We don't say Wayne, we don't say Arthur Wheels Middle School. We don't say Martha Puggy. It's Wayne Wrestling, and I love having those guys in the same room, so I can get to know them, so my staff can get to know them. Our middle school coaches did a phenomenal job. I think we ended up with around 40 wrestlers between both schools, and obviously, you're right. To my middle school standards, that is, something to grow on. And, we didn't have it all figured out back in the day at Ware, Sean, but what we did have figured out was, I got really good community people involved. John Tyndall, Les Stone, KP Boatwright were three of my assistants. And of course, Chad Starlin did everything that we asked. And all we did was, just walk the hallways and encourage kids to come out. And a lot of them fell in love with the sport. And, you see, Coach Eichfield does a great job. He kind of set that precedent at the top, with the varsity program. And of course, didn't know much. Wasn't a wrestler in high school. Wasn't, best friend was a 2-time state champ, and his little brother was a 4-time state champ. So had been around the sport, certainly, but just wanted to do well and wanted to put a good product out there. And, we're kind of taking some of that same recipe here and trying to recreate that with the middle school, certainly. And, hope that it filters up to the high school, and you could look at the situation and say, hey, it's a win later situation, but that's not how we're attacking this year varsity wise. Really encouraged our kids to come out and just go throw our best punch at the region tournament this last weekend. Coming in as a 5 seed, that can be it can motivate kids, or it can deter them. And I think our kids, we challenged them all week that kind of told us some things were going to happen in the first round, and they came to fruition. And you just see the belief start to take over in our kids, and that was special for our fans and our kids, I believe.
Yeah, and Coach, what you're talking about is you guys came into that tournament as a 5 seed, went away as a 2, or came in second place, runner-ups, only trailing Ware, who has kind of been the standard in in this region for quite a while now. But just a great accomplishment for your kids, to be able to, like I said, to walk in that room saying, okay, you're 5 out of 5, but didn't come home with that second place trophy. I know it had to be special for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely, Sean. New region look, and you didn't know what to expect. These guys had fell just short of making the state playoffs the last 2 years, and to be expected, obviously with good wrestling in the region they came from. Only Ware was still in it, but you get caliber teams like Veterans and who finished really high in the state last year. I think they had something crazy like 10, 12 state placers last year, who were ranked in the 1 seed, and then Coffee County, Coach Paul does a great job over there with those guys, and even Warner Robins came in, with a newer program, kind of like what we were dealing with, and missing some holes in their lineup. But every kid they had wrestled really hard and was a good match for us. I think seeing those guys and us encouraging our kids, we told them some things that were going to happen. We had them in the first round as the 4 versus 5. Versus Warner Robins. I think we won that match 70-20, 60-24. Sean had some big pins by guys in spots and got some points off of forfeits, obviously. But we really stress the importance of having a full lineup to our kids and making weight. And we've been practicing morning and afternoon. Kids are sacrificing, being here at 5:30 in the morning and showering at school and then coming back in the afternoon for more work. And just tip your hat to those guys. Tip your hat to my assistant coaches, and to parents. It's not easy for parents to wake up that early in the morning to bring a younger kid. So it gets you in the tournament. You win that first round, matchup, and veteran shows up, and they're dealing with what everybody's fault this year. They're dealing with some COVID issues, and have a few holes in their lineup, and we definitely were unfortunate for them, but very appreciative of an opportunity, and just kind of told our kids, hey, I told you we're gonna wrestle in round 3, and it's gonna mean something. And I think definitely the seniors, they kind of looked at me crazy when I said it at Tuesday at practice, but and I don't even know, Sean, I knew it was going to be a tall task, and knew it was going to be, quality wrestling, and can't say enough about what a great job that those other coaches do with their programs. But our kids went out, and I think we won that match against Veterans in the second round. I've got my stats here. Please bear with. 54-27. Had a huge match by, a kid that had been a senior for us. Jaquan Felix at 138. He went out and battled and lost a 1-point match, and that's huge. Not giving up 6 points there, and instead of 3. And then, of course, our senior leadership: Hayden Beasley, Gray Davis, Camden Williams, they were undefeated on the day, and good kids, even good wrestlers, even better kids. Kind of bought in, and it was fun to see those guys get excited, kind of see the fans starting to understand what was going on during that second round. And, the 138 match was the sealer in the match for us. And just to see the 30-something kids that we took over there, the excitement and the realization that, hey, we're about to go wrestle in championship round, against a really good Ware County team that is going to give us even more of an opportunity to get a test of where we are. So right. It was good. Yeah.
Well, Coach, and you mentioned about the weight classes. When you do the dual, it's basically a scale that you wrestle. But how important is recruiting, and where are you finding your guys from to come be a part of your program?
And I catch kids coming by. Obviously, I coach football as well, and both of my assistants do. So, being able to get a lot of football kids out that were weight class fillers for us and fill some holes in the lineup that we may not have saw. It's hard to get a kid in the summer to get their attention, especially without being able to get on the mat. I think you get kids on the mat, you definitely could get them to fall in love with the sport. But with COVID this summer, all we were able to do was lift, and we had a good crowd, but not necessarily the numbers we wanted. And that's part of it, man. It's my job as the adult in the room to find kids and encourage kids to come out and do whatever it takes to have those points and those spots for the group as a whole, to benefit from it. And that's exactly what happened this weekend.
Well, Coach, you guys finished second in the region. Where does that put you guys in state? What is the next up for the Wayne County Yellow Jacket wrestling team?
Yeah, so again, first time ever in the postseason. Kids are very excited. We've had a great week of practice. We actually have senior night tonight. We host Glenn Academy, and it puts us as a 2 seed coming out of the region. We will travel to Woodward Academy, who were the number 1 seed out of Region 3. We will face Jones County, the number 3 seed out of Region 4. Familiar foe for us, and definitely a motivation match for our kids, and especially the football guys after a heartbreaker up there to end our fall season. And the coach does a great job. We saw him early in the tournament, didn't have any of our football guys, and they wrestled against our JV group. But you just got the feeling that and everything you hear and the research we've done. Coach Thomas Swilley and Austin Wilder, my assistants, do a phenomenal job of scouting and are always on point with kind of how we prepare, and those guys prepare like football guys. So it's kind of neat to see, they come in with spreadsheets and matchup sheets, and it is fun, man. We have a really fun staff. Enjoy being around each other, work hard, and enjoy each other's company. But these kids buy into these assistant coaches. They do a great job at practice of motivating and get these kids ready. And that's exactly what we told them this week. We're going to get up early Saturday morning, and we're gonna ride the charter up to Woodward Academy in College Park, and put another good showing out there, and wrestle Jones in our first round deal, and blessed to make it through that, which is the plan. We'll see the winner of Woodward Academy and Northside Columbus in the second round, all at their place.
Yeah, and then from that, I guess that'll determine whether you guys go to Macon. That's correct.
Well, actually, this year the duels, Sean, are at the sites, so they're at school sites. Only traditional will be at Macon, but yeah, it'll if you win 2 rounds this weekend, you're top 8 in the state and get a chance to go wrestle against the best. And there are a lot of wrestling guys that, you know, it's different than football. That don't get the, you know, they don't get the publicity, the recognition, and you know, there are a lot of really good programs in the state of Georgia, and a lot of coaches do it really, really well. You know, Coach Eichfield being one of those guys at Ware, and you know, just seeing the predictions, and you know, Woodward's got a really good squad. You know, got a couple guys ranked in the state individually, and you know, well, that's okay. We like our guys, and you know, really excited to go get a chance at Jones, and if we wrestle like we're capable, hopefully have a shot at Woodward.
Right. And that, like I said, once that's over, that'll wrap up duels. But then they get into the traditionals where it's really just, you know, one-on-one. Do you have any guys that you look forward to be a part of that traditional, you know, season?
Yeah, so absolutely, definitely. You know, you go back to a region look, you know, with the same 5 teams that were at the region duels, and it's on an individual basis. So obviously, not getting to see every bit of veterans line up definitely creates some question marks of what we're looking at. But you know, Sean, we're hoping to have, you know, 7 to 10 guys qualify and to get into the state tournament. You know, you got to be top 3 out of 5 in the region tournament to get to go this year. And you know, that's something we've challenged our guys with, and it'll be fun trying to figure out, you know, what do we need to wrestle dual wise, and what's going to be best individual. You know, for us, a couple guys that stand out. You know, Camden Williams, you know, had our biggest run, our heavyweight last year. He had a really good run at state, finished right outside the top 8. Gray Davis, who has came in, he's our Mike linebacker in football, and came in a little late. Has not had the mat time that you know, some of our guys had, but sitting at a 9-1 record right now, doing a really good job, kind of floating between 82 and 95, and you know, being just a team player and such a humble kid. You know, doing whatever we've asked him to do, and he's wrestled well this year, and just, you know, can't replace the grit that kid has. And then the kid that's really stepped up this year has probably been our you know, leader above all leaders, a kid named Hayden Beasley, who's wrestled anywhere from 95 to 70. And I believe he's sitting at a 14-3 mark right now. 2 of those losses coming to a kid that was, you know, heavier than him, and me asking him to wrestle up in a match for us, you know, that we needed for the team kind of early on. And just been so willing to do that stuff, and been a leader at practice, you know, and then of course, you got all kinds of guys that can contribute. You know, Eli Adams has had a good year as a junior. Gage Orvin has really had a breakout year his senior year, and is doing some really good things in that middleweight section. You know, Jaquan Felix, who came out, I told you, he had a huge match for us in the region tournament. You know, he certainly stands a chance to get a trip to Macon. And our 106, you know, Sion Blake has really figured it out, and figured that weight cutting is a good thing. And, you know, he figured out that if you get down to that lower weight class, that, you know, the competition definitely drops off a little bit. And he's wrestled well for us these you know, weeks down the stretch. And, you know, man, I think that the most important thing, especially with the setup, you know, you get on the right side of the bracket and win one match, you know, at the traditional region tournament, you're in, you know, and that's what we're kind of, you know, getting our kids excited about. So we hope to go there and wrestle well. And, you know, several names that I didn't mention, you know, Tim Duncan's done a great job for us as a first-year guy. You know, Jaden Jolin, Levi Cooksey, you know, could go on and on about, you know, Caleb Howell, a lot of kids that have just stepped up and kind of grown up. Cole Driggers, Griffin Phelps, 2 freshmen that came in and jumped in the lineup and really did a good job for us. So, you know, making it there, Xander Wilson, you know, certainly has a shot, depending on where he falls weight class wise, to come in and just, you know, have a good tournament. You know, everybody's certainly entitled to that, and that's what we're talking about, you know, with the duels this week. Let's go have a good, you know, let's go have another good Saturday and see if we can extend it for one more Saturday as a team. And then, you know, whenever that run ends, we'll switch gears and kind of focus on traditional.
All right. We got senior night tonight, right?
Senior night tonight, 5:30. Yep. If you didn't have had a chance to come out yet, come out and support, and be a great time. You know, really good chance. We got a great group, 9 seniors. You know, really special group. Like I said, I think 3 of them have been 3-year guys, and you know, the other ones have bought in, and they've really done everything I've asked, you know, as a coach, that have been different, you know, and have stepped up in leadership roles, and you know, do not worry about the character of their of these young men. They do a great job and keep us and get us in the right spot.
Well, Coach, good luck Saturday as you guys travel to Woodward Academy. Y'all go up there and get it done, and hopefully you'll make it to that final state round and that Elite Eight. But hopefully we'll catch up with you a little bit later on down the road once traditions get up and rolling.
Sean, really appreciate 912 Sports, man. Thanks.
All right, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
That's Coach Nick Hayes, head coach of the Wayne County Yellow Jackets wrestling program, third-year program. Nick's first year as head coach, come up finished second in the region. Just a fantastic job there for those guys. But they get ready to take on Woodward Academy this Saturday, but they've got a match tonight against Glenn Academy. So if you're a Jacket fan, got some wrestling you can check out tonight. So, but we'll be right back here with Thursday Nights with 9-1 Sports after these messages. Thanks for watching.
We're moving to Monday for baseball season. Starting February 1st, we become Thursday Night with 912 Sports on Monday. Now back to tonight's show right after these messages.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, across from Harvey's in Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
Now back to what will soon be known as Thursday Night with 912 Sports on Monday.
Welcome back, sports fans. I'm Sean Smoke, publisher of 912 Sports. Hey, want to take this opportunity to thank the sponsors of Thursday Night with 912 Sports. We'd like to thank Coastal Pines Technical College, Tim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty, Robbie Robertson Ford, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, Prime South Bank, and Gibson Animal Clinic. We appreciate all those guys for allowing us to do this show, Thursday Nights with 912 Sports. And joining us now is the Pierce County Bears head basketball coach, Coach Shan Garner. Coach, how you doing tonight, buddy?
All right, doing well, man.
Hey, man, we appreciate you joining us on the show here, Coach. Right now, the Bears are sitting at, I believe, 6-6 on the season, 1-3 in the region, and we're going to get to a little bit about that, about this season, Coach, here in a minute. But let's go back and talk a little bit about Coach Garner. And, Coach, you started your career at Eccles High School, played a little basketball there, went on to play at Bruton Parker, and then I think you wound up graduating from Valdosta State. But going back to an article we wrote on you back in February of 2018 by John DuPont, Coach, you said that you knew you wanted to be a coach at an early age. Talk a little bit about that and what signaled to you is that was something you wanted to do with your life.
Well, Sean, to be honest with you, I was one of those guys, I knew it had to be done, but God just didn't bless me with the ability to get it done. So, I mean, I was a decent player. I was a good shooter. I didn't spend a whole lot of time guarding people. So I kind of made my mind up when I started coaching that that's what we were going to emphasize is we try to be the best defensive team we can. A lot of times in South Georgia, you run into a little bit of lack of skill development as far as basketball. So we try to create more possessions and just play hard. And, we've started 1-2 in the league, and we're running a little size problem right now. We played Appleton last night, and they were 6'7", 6'6", and my little 6'2s did the best they could, but we're going to have to come up with some kind of formula where we make a few more jump shots, I think. But, yeah, I knew I wanted to be a coach. I mean, I was that kid that kind of saw what was going on, knew what needed to happen. And like I said, I think sometimes if you can't get it done, everybody at that age thinks you're a coach. So I just went ahead and tried to make it happen.
Right. Well, Coach, you've been in this game for over 20-plus years, and a coach. You've been in, storied programs like Lowndes. In the past. But I guess about 7 or 8 years ago, you decided to get out of coaching. Didn't stay out of coaching very long, but kind of talk a little bit about what led to that and then what brought you ultimately back to the hardwood.
Well, I mean, I was about the 15, 16-year mark, and I think all of us teachers, we kind of look retrospect at that point. Do we want to finish this thing or do we want to try something else? And I had a childhood friend who big farmers there in Eccles County. I mean, Eccles is very similar to, it's very rural. And if you're not working in a factory, you're working on a farm. So they got me in to sell produce. I was a produce broker because I've been told I have the gift of gab. I'm not 100% sure. Mama said I had a face for radio. I don't know what she meant by that either. But so I tried my hand at it. I was a little burnt out, a little tired. And after a couple of years of it, you realize who you are and what you are. You can't run from it. So I got back in it, and I'm going to do it right on as long as I can,
Exactly. Well, Coach, you also talked about your wife, Rhea, affectionately known as Mama G, and we called her the backbone of your program. Talk a little bit about her and what she means to you guys, and what all she does for the for the program there.
Well, Sean, to be honest with you, we'd probably need a longer segment to tell you all that she does. This year she's actually working in Lowndes County. My parents are older, and we have a lot of nieces and nephews we wanted to get back to. And before COVID hit, she got an opportunity to go back to Lowndes in February, and I figured that there'd be something in the area. Not that I was trying to leave Pierce, but to me, family is number one. So when they quit interviewing because of COVID, I realized I was going to have to stay at Pierce another year. But she's still coming every night, no matter where we are. Driving by herself on the road to get things done. And last night was senior night. She helped organize it, and the kids still call her and ask questions. Me and Lacey still call her. Miss Kathleen Waters, who's actually running our, logistics side of what we do now, calls her once or twice a week. I can't tell you what all she's done, for my program, other than she gets it done. I'm a dummy on computers. She helps me with that. She helps take care of lining stuff up and the food, and just being a mom. A lot of the kids, I think some of my kids that play for me over the years have a better relationship with her than they do with me. So, she's definitely the backbone, and I don't think I'll do it without her being around. So,
right. Well, that's special that you guys, have that bond and, touch so many lives as far as, mentoring, young kids at all the different places that you guys have been, because she's been with you pretty much every step of the way.
No doubt. Everywhere I've been, even when I started at, a little middle school coach, and when you're young like that, you're just years away from getting a statue put up for you. All you got to do is show up every day, and they're going to put a statue up at the school, and you're going to win multiple state titles. But she's been there. She gets to hear it every night. I mean, she hears it when we do well. She hears it when we do bad. This year we were fortunate enough to win the state championship, and that's awesome for our community. But for me, who shares the exact same kids, I think I got my hands on them January the 1st. So we've had, I think, 5 total practices, but we've played 8 basketball games. So we're trying to do some of this on the fly this year, but she's the reason that keeps you grounded and keeps me going.
Right. And that's one of the things I wanted to touch on too, Coach. And everybody doesn't realize that basketball really suffers as much as any sport because of football, especially when you have that deep run. I mean, in a normal season, these guys would have been, to you in December at some point. But this year, it's like you said, January 5th before you got it. How many players did you have come from football, and how big of contributors are they to your team?
Well, I had my top 8 come from football, but 20 overall, including JV, 9th JV. We have 3 programs. I had 2 starters with me. I didn't have any guards with me at the time. So we went ahead, and this was one of those years I debated about not starting. We kind of very similar to a single A school when it comes to how many athletes that they depend on plus who I depend on. Mm-hmm. So a lot of single A schools, don't start until football season's over. But with COVID lingering above, kind of hanging out there, I didn't want these seniors, even the girls, Molly Scruggs, Kennedy Sykes, and some of these kids with Jeb Reddick and Jaden and some of these guys not to be able to play. So I knew it was going to kind of be rough, but we went ahead and lined up and played some folks because I didn't know at any moment, even still, Sean, they may shut us down at any time. So we went ahead and played. The future things in a normal year, I'm probably going to wait until I get them. But to understand what these kids were a part of and got to be a state champion. I mean, I was so thrilled for them. I mean, that's something that most of us chase our entire lives. I was a part of one as a little middle school football coach at Lowndes when Milt was there, and I got that big old gaudy ring, and I think that's amazing. I can't imagine what these kids are going to go through when they get to put that thing on their hand. But it does put us back some. It puts us back skill-wise because, see, there was no summer this year. Right. We didn't have any summer.
Yeah.
So as far as working skill work, and as well as I do, softball, baseball, golf, basketball, such a high skill-oriented sport, you got to put in the reps. And we're kind of catching up. Now, we've won some games with effort. We have, but we're way behind, and we're going to have to do some catch-up skill-wise.
Right. Well, that's one of the couple of things I want to talk about, Coach. You guys have had some huge wins, one being against 7A Lowndes, one being against 6A Coffee. These are big programs with big-time, kids. And both of these games were really close. I think you beat Lowndes 46-45, and you beat Coffee 55-53. What will that, Coach, do for your team when you get to the playoffs in 3A? How will that make you a better program and a better to deal with the competition you're going to see there in the playoffs?
Well, the size for one. I mean, Lowndes was huge, and so was Coffee and Brunswick. We lost to Brunswick at the buzzer.
Yeah.
Moving forward, I think one advantage we had is that they're not a region team, and they don't know some of our weaknesses. And when you start playing region teams, they understand. I mean, it's no secret. We don't shoot it at a high level. Mm-hmm. So when they make us commit to do that, but as far as the win goes, I mean, we're outsized every night. I think my biggest kid's 6'3". Lowndes had a 6'7", a 6'5", another 6'5". So did Coffee, long, lanky, athletic kids. So it was definitely they were walking on water there for a little while.
Mm.
So just getting us ready and seeing that kind of competition. I mean, we battled last night. Appleton is huge. I don't know if you've seen them this year, but they're 6'7", 6'6", a couple of 6'4s. And our kids know we're going to be outsized every night, so they just kind of put that out of their mind and we kind of roll our sleeves up and go see what we can get done,
Exactly. Well, getting to the region, Coach, it looks like Long is sitting there at 3-0. Apple's sitting there at 3-0. I mean, does it look like it's those two guys and then the rest of the field, or do you guys feel like you're in the mix, or what is this region shaping up to be?
Well, yeah, it's panning out to be those two for one simple reason versus us. It's just so much size and length and so many of them. I think Long, it has 4 kids, 6'3" or better. Appleton's got 3, and they're athletic, not just big bodies. That defensive end that's going to Georgia for Appleton can play now. I mean, he fouled out. I think both my bigs fouled out with 6 minutes left, and the little Bell kid fouled out. So when he went down, it decreased a lot of our offensive firepower. I believe those two, with their size and their depth this year, are going to be hard to knock off the 1 and 2 spot. Now, us, Appleton and Brantley are fighting for that 3, 3, 4, 5. And to be honest with you, I don't see. I try to explain in our region in particular over here, the one sport for sure you got to line up every night is boys basketball. I mean, there's just not a night where you get to say, hey, we're going to pencil this one in and play a bunch of kids.
Right.
And it's going to be a struggle. Brantley's coming in, we're both 1 and 2 Friday. They're coming off a win versus Tatnall. So it's going to be every single time we line up. If we win, it's going to be a dogfight. Now, knowing that when we get in, I do believe we'll have a couple teams just like last year that's going to go pretty far in the playoffs. Long went to the Elite 8, and we went to the Sweet 16 and came within an eyelash of getting to the Final Four, because if we get past Jefferson, I'm pretty sure we take care of Monroe. So it was one of those seasons where, what could have been. But this is a very tough basketball region, no doubt in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time tonight. Looking forward to following along with you guys going on into the playoffs there. Like I said, still got several games to play here in the regular season, but we'll be following in with you guys closely. Like I said, congratulations to all of Pierce County Bears on that state championship from football. Like I said, hopefully some of that magic will rub off on you guys when you get into the playoffs this year. I'm sure you'll take some of that. Trust me, there's a bunch of schools around 912 that would take some of that magic for sure. But again, appreciate your time, Coach, and look forward to following you guys for the rest of the season.
Sean, I appreciate it.
All righty, that was Coach Shan Garner, head coach of the Pierce County Bears. He had to run. I think there were some classes changing there when we did this record. But, hey, stick around. We'll be right back here. We've got some more coaches to talk to tonight. But thanks for watching Thursday Nights with 912 Sports.
We're moving to Monday for baseball season. Starting February 1st, we become Thursday Night with 912 Sports on Monday. Now back to tonight's show right after these messages.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Now back to what will soon be known as Thursday Night with 912 Sports on Monday.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Thursday Night with 912 Sports. I'm Kevin Price, staff writer and podcast host for 912, joined now by Brunswick High School wrestling coach Tom Bartolotta. And, of course, Coach is in his postseason now, I guess. Brunswick High has had a heck of a regular season. And, Coach, first of all, congratulations on the great season. We're going to get to that here in a moment. But thanks for being with us here tonight.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
Well, for those who don't know, Coach has been around the block a time or two. This is his second stint here in Glenn County. First, he was with Glenn Academy, did a great job over there, left for a few years. And when he came back, he went across town to Glenn Academy's rival and has done a heck of a job at Brunswick High School. This is his third year over there. And then just this past Saturday, Brunswick High School won its first ever area championship. Basically, that is a region championship. They like to call it area championships in wrestling, but Brunswick won the region championship this past Saturday, beating perennial state power Richmond Hill. Both Brunswick and Richmond Hill ranked in the state, and Brunswick High defeated Richmond Hill in a heck of a championship match. And now Brunswick is headed, of course, to the state tournament, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. But, Coach, I know Richmond Hill has been the measuring stick in this region for years. And, of course, when you came back to Brunswick, they were the guys that you were measuring yourself against. You knew if you could beat Richmond Hill, you could be the area, the region champion, and not only that, be one of the better teams in the state. So on Saturday afternoon, when you guys got that victory, that had to be one heck of a feeling.
Yeah, it was something I always talked about with the kids and everyone that was involved in the program and aimed for. But until you get to that match, which was very, very big, and it happened, it felt great. Richmond Hill is a great program. They won state in 2018. They were third in 2019 and runner-ups last year. And, it was a tough match. We beat them 2 weeks ago at Brantley by 18, but they came back. They made adjustments, and I knew it was going to be close. And it was one of those matches where it seemed like they had it, and we had a few surprises in the end, and definitely with our freshman Anthony Lowe, and we were able to pull it out by a point. And very fortunate with the kids, how they performed, and it was great. It was a great experience, and I always wondered what would happen with that match, with the region championship last Saturday or this past Saturday. And it was great.
And sometimes you don't know exactly how you would react. I don't know if it was kind of business as usual for you guys, or if you guys went crazy, went wild. What was the reaction like when you guys knew you had won it and it kind of sunk in a little bit and you guys accepted that trophy?
There was a lot of emotion. Everyone was happy. It was great. It was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and that's what you coach for. Seeing the kids real happy and celebrate, and it was phenomenal. I definitely wouldn't trade anything for it in the world.
And of course, just so people know, earlier I did say Richmond Hill is ranked in the state. Brunswick's ranked in the state. Brunswick was the top seed for this tournament, I guess, largely because Brunswick did defeat Richmond Hill earlier in the season. But Richmond Hill came in ranked third in the state, having only lost one earlier match, and that was that match to Brunswick. Now has lost two matches. Brunswick was ranked fifth in the state, and I think you guys have only lost one match all season. Is that correct?
We lost to Colquitt November 24th, and they're ranked third in 7A. And, that was pre-football, with football, still going on. It's a little bit with us in Colquitt, of course. So, it was kind of a,
I got you. So we had two top 5 teams in the state going at it. So it's not like Brunswick caught Richmond Hill in a down year, and it's not like this was a surprise, a fluke victory for Brunswick. Brunswick had been trending forward in the positive direction. I think, you guys actually finished second, I think, in your first year. Is that right, behind Richmond Hill, or were you third in the region your first year?
We were second decisively, and second last year. Yeah, they beat us probably by about 25 points 2 years ago, and then last year they beat us by 14. So it was, the gap was closing, and we definitely were on the rise, and so.
Yeah, so you had been closing the gap, and obviously you got these guys going in a hurry. But the interesting thing is, when you came in, you actually told a newspaper reporter here in Brunswick to give you and the Pirates not 1, not 2, not 4, 3 years. You would get it done in 3 years. And I don't know if you were some kind of prophet in a previous life or what, but you got it done in 3 years. I mean, why were you so distinct about 3 years?
I knew that's all it would take, possibly. That's it. When I went to Flagler Palm Coast almost a decade ago, they were 67th in the state in 2012, and the guy that hired me said, I'm giving you 3 years to get us in the top 5. And by 2015, we were in the top 5 of the state in Florida. So that's the way I saw it. And I've had great support in getting there. I've had a great guy that came up here and coached with me, Larry Insulaco. And he works real hard, and we were just able to get things together. I knew it could get done. That was my vision, and we had to do it, and we did it.
And talk about that, Tom. I mean, Brunswick, by no means, I'm sure they had pockets of success and some wrestlers, qualified for state in the past. But as a team, hadn't really had a whole ton of success. So it wasn't like they had a big wrestling tradition. But, talk about coming in and getting a school going. I think maybe what a lot of people don't realize about high school wrestling, if they're not familiar with it, they may think it's a bunch of big guys and they're just out there slinging each other around and getting pins and body slamming each other. But it really takes the smallest of guys to the biggest of guys. I mean, you need a guy that's 100 pounds and a bunch of guys in between, all the way up to the heavyweight over 200 pounds. So it's really a sport that can involve a lot of guys at different weights, different sizes and shapes, if you will. But you got to have a guy like yourself that knows all the techniques, knows all the moves, and knows how to train these kids and get them to learn and know how to practice and know how to, get out there and compete. So how do you take a program? You weren't really starting from scratch, but the bottom line is you were starting from ground zero. How do you take a program and build them up so fast to where you go from last in the region, because Brunswick was last in the region, to number 1 in 3 years?
But the most important thing was building a relationship with the kids. I was visiting the middle schools in the spring of 2018, getting to know those kids, getting to know the kids that were in the program, that were young back in the, spring and summer of 2018, and starting to build relationships with them, starting to teach them what their vision was, or the vision was going to be, and setting goals, having support come. I had a great assistant coach come, like I said, Larry Insulaco, and it just went from there, a little bit at a time, taking baby steps, so Our goal initially was just to go to the state duels and finish second in the region. Our goal last year was try and beat Richmond Hill, but it wasn't really realistic, but it was talked about. But this year there was, this was the year to beat them. Most definitely.
And of course, you had that earlier match where a couple of weeks ago where you beat them by a pretty decisive margin. You knew this time around was going to be closer. You knew Richmond Hill was going to juggle their lineup, they did, and that didn't catch you by any surprise. They were going to try to create some more favorable matchups and get some wins, which they did.
Yep.
But you also felt like you let some matches get away from you. You let some matches late, or maybe it wouldn't have came down to the close finish that it did. And I guess maybe that's kudos to those guys in those matches for coming back on you guys. And I'm sure if you get to face off with them again, maybe that will be to your advantage. And those same guys that let those leads slip away will remember that and kind of avenge those losses if you were to meet again in Macon here in a couple of weeks. But obviously the match came down to a freshman, like you said, I think at the 195-pound class for you. You were down by a margin where you needed a pin in that final match, and a freshman who doesn't have any experience in these big matches against Richmond Hill other than the one earlier goes out and gets it done for you. But just talk about the way that match unfolded and then coming down to that last decisive match like that.
Well, they gained a lot of momentum in the midweights. They won 152, 160, 170, and 182. They won 150, 160, 172 by bonus. They scored 20 unanswered points, and they took a 5-point lead. And then it came down to the last match with a senior. I think his name's Justin McLeod from Richmond Hill, who's pretty good. And then Anthony Lowe, who's gotten a lot better in the last few weeks. And Anthony needed to win by pin for us to win. And Anthony's very good at pinning people. This kid went out there and was beating Anthony up the first period, but he got tired. And then Anthony started taking it to him and then controlled the match and took control of the match and then pinned him. And that was it. Anthony he really has a good motor, and whatever he knows. He does good. He goes hard. He's a fierce competitor. He's got a record of 16-4 as a freshman, and he's tough. He has a shot at placing in the state this year, and he's going to be the top seed in the area, traditional. So he's going to be a great wrestler. He's also a great football player too for Coach Pender. So he's a great student as well. So he's an honor student. So he's a great all-around kid. Only 14 years old in that weight class. He's going to be tough. So luckily he pulled it out. We had some other kids that didn't wrestle their best matches, but that's part of it. With 14 weight classes, 14 matches, nothing's going to go perfect. You would like it to, but it didn't. But at the end of the day, we won, and we don't have to travel. And Richmond Hill does, and we're in a spot where we're going to host, but we're not, and that's it.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Just so people know, the way this usually works in a non-COVID year, the normal year, if you will, the number one team and number two team from each area in the state, 8 areas, just like in other sports, would go to Macon and compete for the state championship. So a 16 team dual tournament, team against team, head-to-head for the state championship. Because of COVID this year, the Georgia High School Association was going to make smaller tournaments, if you will. The 8 champions were going to host mini tournaments, regionals, if you want to call them that. So Brunswick was going to be a host this coming Saturday. The Pirates were going to host 4 other teams. It was actually going to be a larger tournament involving more teams in an extra round. So more teams would have actually been involved beyond the area tournaments. But because of COVID, because maybe, quite honestly, some teams hiding behind COVID can see the writing on the wall, knowing that they can just about predict maybe what was going to happen, weren't going to travel, just say, from middle Georgia down here to South Georgia and get wiped off the mat by the Pirates, just simply putting it like it is, have decided not to come. And Brunswick is moving on now to the Elite 8, probably like it would have been anyway, barring maybe Brunswick getting hit by COVID and losing a couple of key, wrestlers, or some other team really just having one heck of a weekend. But the Pirates are now into the Elite Eight because of the scenario. So, Coach, you're not wrestling. I know you would like to earn your way there, but we all felt like you would have been making your way there anyway. So I guess it's just a matter now of getting tuned up, getting ready to go, keeping everybody healthy and safe. But you feel like you got a shot at this thing, being one of the top 5 teams in the state. I know you feel like you at least got an outside shot at it. So what's it going to take to actually go to Macon and get it done in 2 weeks?
Or next weekend, keeping everyone healthy with this situation. If we have the same team as we did this past Saturday, we have a shot at beating the majority of the teams, if not all of them. It depends on how we match up with some of them. Buford's very tough. Alexander's very tough. Creekview's very tough. We're tough. Richmond Hill's tough. Lee County's come on strong this year. Valdosta and Pope are okay. I think they're going to get out. Pope is very young, but they're still impressing people. So I think a lot of it depends on who's healthy with this COVID situation. And I think if we have everyone we have and we go out and we wrestle pretty well, I think we're in the mix. I think we're in the semis, possibly finals. Who knows? But we're right there. Our kids are seasoned. They've went to the state duels the last 2 years and misplacing in the top 4 by 1 match. So they know what it's about. With it being in 1 day, with each classification, our kids got to be in shape and got to be able to compete against very good wrestlers, so that's important, With this year, with the COVID, every team pretty much in the state has been able – they've had restrictions and the schedule's been, I won't say it's been weak, but it's been more local and a little bit repetitive. So it's been tough to really schedule tough competition this year without being able to stay overnight at all and travel far. So, whoever's mentally tough, whoever's ready, whoever has their best day will prevail.
Coach, I'm just assuming that some other regionals have been canceled or maybe will be canceled before the end of the week. I'm assuming out of 7 classifications in the state, this is not the only regional that's been canceled as of right now.
Just our little quad is because we're in a unique situation because it's the 1, 2, 3, and 4 draw. Region 1 has 4 schools. Lee County's tough. Valdosta's tough. Hoco, we wrestled and we beat them by like 70 at Perry Invitational. And then there's Northside Warner Robins, who's, won a state championship, I believe, right? No, that was Warner Robins. But they don't lack a full team. So then you get Region 4, which is South Metro. So there's 7 schools there, but only 3 of them have had wrestling this year. And two of those 3 schools that have wrestling have 4 or 5 kids on the team. And then you got the Augusta region, which is Rockdale, Heritage Conyers, and then, Lakeside Evans, Grovetown, Evans. Those schools over there have had very little wrestling. So that's why, the Region 3 and 4 have been real thin with the wrestling this year. They barely had any wrestling this year. I think they might not even had wrestling until a few weeks ago. So that's the situation you're seeing over there. So it's been tough. So, but even if so, we would have been easy favorites, even if there was no COVID. And those teams would have been full. So.
And Coach, the cool thing about wrestling, not only do you have the duels, team against team, once this is over, you'll have traditional wrestling where individuals can qualify for a state tournament. I think that's really cool. Right. You guys are going to have some guys that can qualify as individuals and go place in state or maybe win state. You had a guy who came here with your assistant coach, Tracy Insalaka. He won state as a transfer his first year here. And became an individual state champion for the Pirates. So, not that you guys have had a bad team, but if somebody were on a bad team but are real good individually, they can still go out and win a state individual championship. And I think that's one cool thing about the sport of wrestling.
You got it. That's yeah, and we're gonna have that in February. Yeah.
All right, Coach. Well, hey, keep up the good work. Good luck to the Pirates. It's great to see Brunswick having a lot of success in a sport that maybe a lot of people don't know about. And like I say, it's really cool to see a wrestling match because it's the little guys, it's the big guys, and a lot of guys in between. And I was really kind of hoping you guys would get to compete at home this weekend for that very reason. Maybe a chance for some people to come out and see something they've never seen before. But maybe with you guys having some success, people will come out and see you guys in the future. But I actually think you do have a match Thursday night. Is that at home?
We wrestle Brantley in Appleton County Thursday at Brantley. And then next Wednesday, senior night, we wrestle Glen Academy in Wayne County here in the old gym next Wednesday, January 27th at 5 o'clock. Then we host
the old gym is on Glen Academy's campus, so that will be a good.
No, the old gym in Brunswick High.
Oh, at Brunswick. Oh, we got two old gyms now. Hey, I forgot about that. Okay.
And then we're hosting the area championship in the new gym on February 5th.
Okay. So, there will be further chances to watch the Pirates and Glen Academy regular season match, coming up. Then, they will have the area traditional wrestling coming up in February as well. I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding us. That's going to be exciting. So some chances to get out and watch wrestling if you've never seen it. Brunswick doing well. Glen's going to be in action. Some other area teams will be here. So, Coach, keep up the good work. Keep everybody healthy and safe. And let's go out and see some team championships and some individual championships come your way over there for the blue and gold.
Thank you, sir. I'll see you soon.
All right. Thanks, Coach. That was Coach Tom Bartolotta, head wrestling coach at Brunswick High School. He's doing a good job with the Pirates. They are now not only the area champion, but one of the best teams in Class 6A in the state. So keep an eye on the Pirates as wrestling season continues. We'll be back more with here on Thursday night with 912 Sports.
We're moving to Monday for baseball season. Starting February 1st, we become Thursday night with 912 Sports on Monday. Now back to tonight's show right after these messages.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, across from Harvey's in Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Now back to what will soon be known as Thursday night with 912 Sports on Monday.